What is that? What were you just drinking out of just now? Let me see that mug. Why are you drinking out of that mug? Why are you drinking out of that? Why are you not drinking out of the brand new mugs that Justin got us for Christmas?
Oh,
that is so disrespectful.
I didn't mean to be disrespectful. I was still taking the mug in. I haven't washed it. It's sitting right next to my coffee machine.
You could take it in with liquid. You could take the liquid in from the mug. That's what you need to be taking in because
I know.
Justin,
I didn't want to use it yet.
Shout out to Justin for sending us these beautiful Gritty Nose Best mugs. Look at that.
Those are beautiful.
These are not for sale. I repeat, not for sale.
But I didn't get one though.
You don't like mugs.
Well, I hear that there might be one left over in storage.
You've heard about it from who? Nobody told you that.
So
nobody's ever said that to you. You said you don't like mugs. So we got to get you like a frisbee or something. We got to get you something else.
I could.
You already said you don't like them. You already said you don't like them. Listen, I got to make an announcement right now. Okay, I got to revise last week's announcement because last week I said that this would be the last episode. And it was gonna be, okay? But actually, we're gonna add one more to the season. So next episode is the last one. It's better for the schedule. If I was sitting down, doing the math, which I'm not good at math, but I was doing the math, and it would be better if we add one more episode to the season. So that's what we're gonna do. So we got one more. Just when you thought it was over, just when you thought we were going home, we're back with one more, and then on that episode, we'll tell you what's going to happen during the break, because we're not going to leave you hanging the whole break. We don't do things.
Look, he doesn't show any excitement at all. He just takes one more drag off that cigarette. He's got to get that filter burn down his throat, into his lungs.
I'm just trying to, absorb all the information.
He don't listen to the shows. No, he doesn't matter to him. He's on it. He doesn't listen to it, so he has nothing to be excited about. We're not talking about Tetris. We're not talking about Pokemon or anime, anything that actually excites him. We're not talking about anything like that. Let's talk about something
How did that filter taste?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Like that? All right. You like to filter cigarettes? You drink? You're on a Newport, sucking on a Newport. Yes or no? Speak.
Yeah.
Okay, you're on a podcast. Thank you. Let me talk about something that excites me. Okay. 2024, I don't know. What is it, the year of the dragon? Isn't it the year of the dragon this year? I think so because, look it up. I think so because when I was in Tarjay the other day, I saw there was a M&M bag with dragons on it. And I said, what the hell is this? What is this, like some collab or something? But I think it's the year of the dragon this year. But either way, it doesn't matter if it's the year of the dragon or the year of the pig or the year of the goose or anything like that. Because it is dragon. Boom, I knew it.
But it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because what the year actually is, it is the year of the mouse. Do you know why? That is because the original Mickey Mouse is now in the public domain, along with Tigger, along with Peter Pan. Nobody cares about Peter Pan, so who cares about that? I mean,
Tigger?
I love Tigger right now. I love Tigger. I did love Tigger as a child. I went to the Tigger movie with my mother down in Manhattan. It was great, I think, at the time. But nobody likes Peter Pan. But everybody loves Mickey Mouse, okay? And before you get crazy and start making your Mickey Mouse movies and stuff, it's only the original version, Steamboat Willie. So don't get your ass sued because Disney will take your house. They'll take your children. They'll take everything. You won't even have electricity by the time they're done with your ass, okay? Only Steamboat Willie is allowed to be used in movies. It's public domain, so you can do anything you want with it. And people have already started. It has already begun. There is a trailer for a horror movie that I believe is coming out maybe March. There's no exact date. And it's called Mickey's Mousetrap. It's basically looks like a guy in a Mickey mask and his kid's like in an arcade and he's gonna kill him. Right up my alley. I can't wait to see that. I am so excited for that. So Mickey's Mousetrap is dropping.
This is just FNAF featuring Mickey.
It's not FNAF, okay? It's not animatronics, okay? Speaking of FNAF, though, I got this nice FNAF shirt that Pastor got me for Christmas. Look at that.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you.
Look at that. It's a great shirt. So, also, I don't know if any of y'all remember The Mean One. It was a movie about the Grinch. Somebody made a horror movie about the Grinch that somebody made. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And that director is claiming that he will be making a Mickey Mouse horror movie. And I'm excited for that because I liked the Mean One. I thought it was good. So they're going to call it something Steamboat Willie. Not going to call it Mickey. They're making sure. They're talking about we are sitting with our lawyers day and night to make sure every T is crossed before we get sued.
Mean Boat Willie.
Mean Boat Willie's coming out. And there's also a video game coming out called Infestation Origins. Infestation Origins is coming out where you play people with guns and you go around. There's an infestation going on and Mickey comes out and he slaps you around. And it looks pretty good. The trailer's out. So we have a lot to look forward to, not only in the coming year, but probably in the coming years, okay? Because I know that even though I said I don't like Peter Pan, I think they're making a Peter Pan horror movie, which I guess I'll watch. I guess I'll see it. And I'm sure in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, Tigger will be bouncing around, slashing people's throats, crushing people with his tail. It's going to be great. I'm going to
have to watch it.
It's going to be great. Anybody have any thoughts on these things? I know Pastor has some very strong views about public domain. What did you say? It should only be like 2 years and then it should be public domain?
No, I said 25 years.
That's ridiculous. Why?
I mean, I think that's what some of it used to be.
Who would make such a rule?
Point.
So let's say I make something when I'm 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now 25 years later, I'm still alive and well. I'm nowhere close to dying. Now motherfuckers get to eat off of my stuff?
But you may not even remember it. You may be on to other stuff.
Who cares? Who cares? Why can't it be? How much is it now? Is it what's the public?
It's around like 80.
It's like 80 years.
I think that's perfect because you know what? If I make something that's a smash hit, okay, not only should I be eating off it, but my children should be eating off it solely. Okay, we made it. You can wait a hundo and do something with it. 100 years, stop it. Okay, these are people that have no creativity and they just want to leech. They just want to suck off of what people make, and they want to take it.
But you're talking
it should be public domain. It should be public domain.
How much is this actually enriching the artist?
What do you mean?
Oh,
well, because
a lot of those copyrights are Disney, are the record company.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying in the case of somebody who makes something when they're younger, why should it be public domain when they're 25 years later? That's nothing. They're like, so then other people are going to be able to make stuff and manipulate and cash checks off of their work. You're done. 100 years. My kids eating and my kids' eating solely. Only ones at the table. Okay, you're not gonna make no fucking video games, no movies off of my stuff. No, that's ridiculous. So, is anybody else excited for these? Probably not, right? You guys aren't really into this stuff.
No, I want to see them.
Okay, you're into it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Speaking of horror movies,
check out the Mickey movie.
You'll watch it. All right, great. Well, maybe in March, the first one will be out, so we'll have our thoughts on it. Speaking of horror movies,
I'm more excited about Tigger. Sorry about that.
No,
I'm
okay.
just letting you know.
We all are.
Tigger?
We all are.
Well, let me finish my argument about the public domain, because I really didn't say anything.
Yeah, say it.
I mean, whether it's 25 years or not, the idea behind it is that creative works go into the public domain because it means it's now a part of the culture. And like when I think about, say, Star Trek, and they allow fan movies under certain criteria. However, Paramount sued this one company because they were the movie that they were going to come out with looked like it was really, really good. And I invested in the crowdfunding.
Oh.
And they shut it down because they were coming out with Paramount Plus, and they were coming out with Discover. I think that's what the reason was. They didn't want any competition. when your fans want to emulate what's being produced, I mean, I think there should be more room for people. Like, imitation is the highest form of flattery. I mean, and that's true.
Right.
I think there should be some latitude in the way people can use material, and whether it's fully in the public domain or not. But the way that these corporations lock this stuff down, for every buck, the artist might get a dime if they've got a good contract. I think it's overboard.
Lock it down. Lock it
down. I do agree with you that sometimes good things come out of other people getting their hands on it. Like back in the day before Star Wars was owned by Disney, whoever was running it, they were a little looser with it. So they would let people take their IP and make something with it. And I think a lot of good Star Wars games came out of that he, like the OG guy, what's his name? George Lucas. He was like, you know what? These games are so good. I might make some of this stuff like into the canon. You know what I mean? Like make it real. So
that's up for the discretion.
I think it's sometimes when other people get their hands on stuff, they can bring new life. You know what I mean?
There's nothing wrong with that.
And like the IPs that I'm watching go down the tubes, like Star Trek and Doctor Who, and then you've got a bunch of Star Wars fans saying, "Will you allow the fans to have input on the future scripts?" Because what's been coming out lately really stinks.
That should be true.
It's terrible.
But all this is not by law, though. It's up for the discretion of the creator. Take the Five Nights at Freddy's creator. He allows people to make fan games, and then he did this initiative where he basically gave these people deals if their fan game was good enough to let their fan game be like promoted and put it in his universe and acknowledge it. It should be up for the discretion.
That's what the OG Star Wars dude did.
I agree with that. I think that's fine because it's the creator's decision whether they would like to acknowledge it or not, if that person should eat off of their work or not. But I think 25 years is far too early. Too early.
At least 50.
At least 50. Okay, like, come on. The guy's not even dead, and you're going to be making movies off of his stuff?
At least wait for him to be almost in the grave.
Exactly. I mean, like, Disney, this is since the 50s, 40s, already. That's fine, I mean, well, not even like the 30s, right? I'm, like, tripping. It's, like, way earlier than the 50s, right? Mickey was like the 30s.
I think it's 1920 something.
Yeah, I mean, so this is a long time coming. That's fine. But certain things should not. So we're all excited for this. We're also going to be talking about a horror movie that just came out called Night Swim. We're going to be talking about that a little bit later on in the show. It just dropped. I just finished seeing it, so my thoughts are fresh in my mind. We're going to be talking about it. Something that's fresh in my mind, though, Pastor, I thought about you when I read this article. Pretty interesting. A North Carolina pastor was arrested for walking in to his wife's establishment. I think it was either like a Wendy's or something like that, some fast food establishment, and beating up one of the employees and trying to dump the guy's head into the deep fryer. He walked in, started beating him down, and tried to dunk his head into the deep fryer. But then the employees came and they broke it up, and then he got put on some assault charges. I think he posted bond for.
And what made you think a pastor when you read this?
Because these guy's a pastor.
Because he's a pastor.
Come on, I mean, connect the dots.
That's it. That's it.
That's all it takes. The guys are.
You know what? We need you in the paper next. We need you to get famous.
I think there was some times where he could have been. I've seen them.
I hope he was some kind of house church pastor and not like
giving you a bad name.
So what was his? So his wife was working at Wendy's,
something like that. Wendy's, or let me find it. But basically, one of the employees disrespected her somehow. We don't know the nature of the disrespect, though. We don't really know.
With my woman.
Yeah, something happened. Disrespectful. It was at McDonald's. There you go. Man accused of assaulting, trying to deep fry wife's coworker's head at McDonald's for disrespecting her. So who knows what he might have done. It wasn't clear. But yeah, thank God he didn't do it, because this is a new meaning to putting the hands on people and baptizing people. That's what he almost did. My man was about to baptize his ass.
Perhaps
trial by fire.
He was going to turn the other cheek, meaning the other guy. Turn the other cheek to get it in the fryer.
Can you imagine? That would have been. I mean, he got off on just assault charges. If he put his head in the deep fryer, that's murder.
It depends on what assault.
Right.
It might be a felony.
Yeah, that's true. But if he would have succeeded, that could have been attempted murder or murder. We don't even. I mean, it could be murder, right? I mean, that's not good. Head in deep fry. That's like some Jason. That's like some Jason X shit right there.
Oh my God, Jason X was a good movie.
When he stuck a head in the. You ever seen that when he stuck a head in the ice? And
what a classic! What a classic!
You ever seen that movie, Pastor?
No.
You've never seen Jason X. That's a good movie because you like space. You gotta see Jason X.
This is Jason in space.
That's like my favorite Jason movie. I don't think I even care about any other Jason movie besides Jason X. He gets a new costume and everything. So yeah, my man almost baptized this dude's ass in freaking Greece. How would you feel if this is one of your cohorts are engaging in this activity? How would you feel?
Someone from your flock.
You're right.
From my flock or from
your cloth?
A colleague.
A fellow colleague.
Well, I definitely, they would definitely need to get a psych exam and see what could be done to rehabilitate. And if said minister refused, then you bring them to the Board of Ministerial Efficiency.
Oh,
wow, we're getting real technical now. I just meant how would you feel about them? I'm saying not political.
I mean, it's difficult because especially when pastors do things publicly, you have people out in the public that want to see quick and swift justice, meaning the pastor to pay a high price.
Right.
But the one thing to remember is that pastors are human beings also, and that there should be, since we're talking in Christian terms, a chance for redemption. But clergy do need to be kept to a high standard, and if clergy in trouble refuse to comply with...
I think you cut that piece of the cloth off.
Oh, you saying get rid of this guy?
By the board or the bishop, then.
Oh, you're going high up there.
Get to the
bishop. Then you maybe have to take some more extreme measures.
What about the Pope? Does he get involved?
I mean, I said the bishop.
Well, I don't know. I can't speak on behalf of the Pope.
Okay. So you think he should be the cloth should be cut, EJ? You don't think he should have his cloth anymore? He should be excommunicated from the church?
Yeah.
I feel like
who knows what he's gonna do? When he's holding.
It depends on what he's done before, too.
Right. Who else?
This might be just a pattern.
I mean, this seems extremely frivolous for a pastor to walk into his wife's place of employment.
Yeah, he didn't even think about his wife either.
I don't know. I don't know what you do. And it also depends on if he's found guilty of these charges.
Oh, they got him on video.
That's another factor. But he's not been found guilty yet.
Right,
so
when
the jury says guilty, then he's guilty.
Innocent to proven guilty. You're going with?
Yes.
Okay.
We've got it. We're watching the First Amendment go down the tubes. Right. Let's hold on to what we got.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I would be first in line for the next service. I think I would like that guy. This guy's my pastor. He means business.
Oh my God!
He stands on business. There's nothing wrong with that. Listen, you disrespect the guy's wife, you get your ass beat. Nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, listen, imagine the stories this guy has. Like Joe Osteen, he tells the same three. When when we were buying the building, when I became a I mean, imagine the stories this guy got. Back when, back when I beat this guy's ass, back when I threw this guy's head in a deep fryer. I mean, it must be some great services.
Now, how many times are you going to be able to hear that story?
I'll sit there every time for that one. That one probably never gets old. Guy almost stuck somebody's head in the deep fry. That's honestly, you're kind of insane for that. Like, yeah. I can see the ass beating for real though, like on a real note. But not the sticking that you got to do something crazy for me to want to stick your head in a deep fryer.
And I would like to know what the disrespect was.
Yeah, like what that warranted
like
murder.
Was this a proportional response?
Like what
Probably not.
Like I can't even. It'd have to get physical for me to want to stick your head in a deep fryer.
Yeah. Like, you have to like grope my wife.
Grope her in the freezer, trying to go get some extra nuggets, and then you cop
and
a
I probably won't even throw you in the deep fryer. I'll probably just smash your face into the floor or something.
Throw some grease on you, but I won't stick your head in the fryer. Maybe just throw some grease on you. I don't know.
And I won't do this at my wife's work either. I'll at least catch them outside after work.
Yeah, there should have been an outside of the office incident.
Yeah.
There's too many, you got cameras there. My man is on video.
It's all
Do you think they make the basins or the baskets thin enough to prevent people's heads from being pushed into them?
I think so. I don't think his head would have even made it in there. That's a good point. It'd have to be pretty big for your head to be in a deep fryer. No, that's like an industrial size.
He seemed pretty angry. He's just gonna force it. He's gonna smash it in there, man.
That's for fries and nuggets. You're not sticking you're not frying turkeys in that thing. If that was like one of the turkey fryers, you're going in. You're going in that.
I mean, he might have successfully, injured somebody if he just gone to the grill.
Oh yeah, stuck his face. The guy got a big M on his cheek now. He looks like a McGriddle.
Don't give me any ideas.
Guy looks like a McGriddle now. Let me say this. Last episode, we talked about this phenomenon of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, okay? She's all over. You cannot go anywhere online without reading about the release of Gypsy Rose. You know about this, Pastor?
Yeah.
I heard you talk about it.
I know you don't know this. Yeah. I know you don't know this, EJ, because you'll learn about this maybe 3 years from now.
Nobody was talking about her when she got locked up.
I mean, they probably were, to be fair, but it's a bigger deal that she's released now. It was 8 years ago. How do you even know? It was 8 years ago. They probably were. It was probably all over the place 8 years ago. I mean, Lifetime was working on the documentary while she was still rotting in there. They were still talking about it, but now that she's out, I mean, it's all over. And I'm starting to see the comments like, who cares? Why am I seeing this again? I mean, the headlines are ridiculous at this point. Gypsy Rose is in Times Square. Okay, so is Mickey. And? Okay, so is the Stormtrooper. Why do I care that Gypsy Rose is in Times Square? That is nothing to do with
Why do I want to hang out with somebody that got tricked into thinking they had all these diseases and ailments?
Oh, no.
And then tricked.
She was a child. What do you mean she got tricked? She was a child when this happened. She wasn't grown.
She did get brainwashed. She got brainwashed.
Yeah,
for sure.
She didn't have a choice. She was like 8. She was getting like chemicals shot up in her veins.
Listen, it's crazy. It's crazy, but I don't care either, bro.
I'm not with the fanfare, and it looks like from the comments I'm reading, people are starting to get sick of it. But let me tell you, it ain't gonna end because the documentaries ain't even out. She only wrote 1 ebook. It's gonna keep going. But let me say this. As I was observing her and her husband, I noticed something that at first I was the only one that said in my circle. She had a husband. He wrote to her in prison. They got together.
Is that the boyfriend that killed?
No, that's who it should be, right? That's who the husband should be.
Yeah, like my man, like you should have been loyal to him.
I killed for you. I stuck somebody's head in a deep fryer for you, and now you're running around with some other guy. No, that's what somebody that interviewed her said. They were like, what's up with the guy? Like, where's he at? She's like, oh, he's in prison right now. He's paying the price for what he did. It's like,
oh my God, you tricked him into doing it. It's your fault.
So why did she kill her mother?
because the mother had Munchkin by proxy. She was saying that she was sick and she had cancer. She was saying that the daughter was sick and she had cancer. She shaved her head, took her teeth out.
Said she was like young, like you have to eat through feeding tubes. You need to use this wheelchair because you can't walk.
She was treating her like she was sick
and walk,
making her believe she was sick, shooting her up with all kind of meds. She had the community. She had like Make-A-Wish, thinking she was sick. There's all kind of pictures of her in wheelchairs, looking all frail. It's crazy. So. Yeah, I'm with you, Eddie. She should be marrying the guy who killed her mother. That's who you should be marrying. That's your day one. That's the OG. He was a ride or die, all right? He was there when you had no teeth, okay? Now you're a big shot.
Now you're getting out selling books, getting teeth. Come on now. Come on, that's crazy.
And listen, I'm going to state this again. I got nothing against her for killing your mother for that, and I got nothing against her for making your money. If this was me, I'd be writing book on how we did it. How do I feel like after? I'd be writing books for years. You know what I mean?
The only thing I don't like about it is she tricked that dude into doing it. I think you should have did it. Like she should have did it herself.
She's probably too frail.
Man ain't never getting out now.
No, he's done. He's done. But now she's taking on a new lover that she met in prison, as one does. All great love stories start this way, with a letter. And I noticed something interesting. Okay, I was like, eh. So I hit up Cemetery Girl, who we had this conversation with. I said, what do you think about the husband? Okay, because this is a picture of the mother. Okay, this is the mother. This is the husband. Doesn't he look exactly like the mother? This is the husband. This is the mother. Look at that. Ain't that creepy, the resemblance right there?
Well, they all look alike.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, Gypsy looks alike because she came out of the mother. So why does the husband look like her, though? That's not her brother. Ain't that creepy? So I'm thinking this, and then I'm like, maybe it's just me. And then I start seeing more comments about it. I start seeing comments surface like, yo, that guy looks like the mother. The guy looks like the mother. That's weird. And then people are saying they don't get a good vibe from the guy. Now, I don't know about that. I don't know.
So you think this is secretly her dad that's going to marry his daughter?
No, I don't think it's her dad. It's just creepy that it worked out this way. And it's like, is there some kind of subconscious thing going on that you're marrying a guy that looks exactly like your mother? Like, and how odd. Okay, another picture. That's them together now. And this is the mother. I mean, that could be her brother at this point. If you would have told me they're brother and sister.
Marrying her brother, huh?
But let me be fair. There was an article that came out like a year or two ago where I saw that they did like some statistic that a lot of married couples look alike. They pick people that look like them. I've never dated anybody that looked like me, but apparently that's a thing. Apparently people do that.
But I'm lost.
With what?
The guy that.
Oh my God, Pastor.
The girl.
The husband looks like the mother. How? Why?
Whose husband?
The husband.
Hold on. Let's do some math. The mother's dead, so who's Gypsy Rose's husband? She got out of prison.
That's her husband. Okay. I thought you were saying that was his. That was her father.
No, I didn't even use the word father ever.
I got lost. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to mess up I've
never even used the word father.
Put that picture with the two of them sitting next to each other. They look identical.
This one right here.
That's why I thought that he was her father.
That's okay. So now you're making my point that they resemble each other, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So that
and they're married now.
Okay. So this is the mother, right? Now let's start again. Okay, everybody, we're gonna bring it back. Anybody that's lost, we're bringing it back. Okay. Here's a picture of the mother.
Okay.
We all see it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a picture of Gypsy Rose today with her BF, her husband, actually.
Yeah, everybody looks the same.
Look at this. A picture of the mother and the husband side by side. What in the world? What the? Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
I picked up on it, but I'm like, maybe I'm tripping, right? Maybe I'm tripping. Then I see the TikTok start leaking out. People are like, yo, this is kind of creepy. Like, this guy.
Does she have a brother?
I don't think so. I don't know. No, definitely not. We would have heard about him already.
Yeah,
he would have been involved in this somehow. But is this like a subconscious thing? Who knows how? It's just freaky. That's all I'm saying. And people get a weird vibe from the guy. Now, do I get that? I don't have enough info to tell. I don't watch their interviews. I don't know anything about that.
To be fair, though, he reached out to her, though, right? He's the one that sent the letter.
Yeah,
so I mean, he's interested in someone that looks like him.
Look at this picture of them together. It could be.
You got a lot of pictures of these people.
I don't have it. It's on Google. Google got a lot of pictures. You think I'm saving these?
Yeah, they're on your hard drive.
He's got them framed on his.
You're secretly the biggest fan.
What do you think? I'm Helga Pataki?
I think you got a shrine to her.
So then she clapped back at people talking about this. She didn't clap back at people talking about the resemblance. I think because maybe she saw it and she went, yeah, that's true. So she had nothing to say about that. But they were like, oh, I get a weird vibe from the guy. I get a weird vibe. And then she basically clapped back and said, the dick is great. That ass. She was like, yo, the D is fire. That was her quote. The D is fire. So good for her. Listen, she's making money. She got.
Bro, what are the D did she get in her life, though?
It's fire to her. Well, I think she fucked the guy that killed her mother. They fucked once or twice. So
something was wrong with him too. He was a little.
She got something to base it off of. She got something.
You remember that guy? You remember like his? Did you see his interview? Like that guy.
I don't think anybody looked for him. I don't think anybody. We looked for his name on the show and we could not find it. I had to look around to find his name when it should be out there. I don't know. I should watch an interview with him. See what he has to say.
Well, not the interview, but like I'm talking about the interrogation interview that the police did with him.
I didn't watch that. I'm not you. I don't watch things like that.
Something was off with him.
There
bro.
was what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say. Now you cut me off. Oh, there was an interview where the new husband was talking about it, and he was saying, "Oh, Gypsy was manipulated into doing this," and I was like, "Since when?" I don't remember that being the story. I thought the story is that she manipulated the guy to kill her mother. Was manipulated.
That is what was said.
Listen, they got each other's back. He's defending her. She's defending him. But she came out on one of the interviews and was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have done it that way. I shouldn't have killed her. That was the wrong move." I'm not gonna say that was the wrong move. I definitely think there was an escape route. I don't think she had to kill her per se. But I mean, I'm not crying about it. So that's the update on Gypsy Rose. Unless something crazy happens, unless she kills somebody. Unless they kill somebody else.
She gets her new husband to kill
unless somebody else dies, we're not going to really bring her up again. But the fanfare is honestly just kind of crazy. It's just too much. 6 million followers, though. Good for her. She's going to be a millionaire, and she's getting good D from somebody that looks like a mother, which is insane. Wow. Wow. You know what else was insane? Night Swim. Okay, the new movie came out January 5th. And we're going to talk about it right now, okay? Pastor, why don't you share your thoughts on the Night Swim movie before I do that?
Okay.
All right. I can't wait to hear this.
Well, I really don't believe it was a movie that needed to be made. I felt that the husband and the wife were not likable.
I agree with
I had no real sympathy for him, and I had just a little sympathy for her.
I mean, come on, the guy got MS. You got to have a little bit of sympathy.
Well, yeah, but
I got MS.
I don't know. It was something about that actor, man. I didn't have a lot of sympathy.
Let me bring it back because I'm doing a bad job. I forgot to say what Night Swim was even about for those who.
Okay, all right.
This is a horror movie, by the way. And
it's a horror movie.
I really didn't watch any trailer except the first one because these days the second trailer will give you the whole movie. So just show me the teaser. I just want to know the title and show me like a second of the movie, because these days you'll know the whole thing from the trailer. So we were sitting at the end, and basically the trailer just looks like it's a haunted pool. Basically, there's a girl in the pool, Marco Polo. There's some either demonic entities or some kind of spirit in the pool, and that's the information I went in this movie with. I didn't want to know nothing else.
So a haunted pool.
So Night Swim is about a haunted pool. This family moves in to a new house. They got this pool, and I will give a little bit of information actually, because what I thought was interesting was that there's a little more to the pool than it just being haunted. It actually has positive effects on the father because he has MS. And I'm not going to give any more spoilers besides that, but that's the interesting aspect of the movie, is that not only is it haunted, but it has positive aspects, and it's actually healing the father as he's going in. So continue with your review.
Okay. So there's a line that the wife made when she was talking about her father teaching her to swim.
I don't even remember that.
Well, I took notes during this movie because I forget things. And she said her father threw her in the pool, and she just says, "I guess it was sink or swim, and I guess I swam." And I was sitting going, "Yeah, no, duh, you're still alive.
Yeah, you're here. Like, come on.
Now you know you're retarded."
We all know that.
So the cat,
which had a nice name. What was it again? The cat's name was Cider. It was Cider. So nice I forgot it. Cider. I thought that was
Cider.
A nice name.
Cider,
cool.
right?
Yeah, it was nice.
Well, at one point they called the cat Simon.
Did they?
Yeah.
I thought the cat's name was Cider.
Well, that's what I thought. But then the kid said Simon.
No,
and
yeah.
I'm like, wait, I thought the cat's name was... No, I heard it as plain as... Because I wrote down initially, who's going to name their cat Cider?
I guess me. I thought it was nice. Really? They called it Simon?
Yeah, and then I wrote Simon down here going, wait, maybe I was mishearing.
I heard Cider the whole movie.
Well, that's what I heard. I heard Simon at least once.
I didn't hear that.
Cider.
So, they were... I don't... So you're saying that the pool had positive effects.
Right.
And so he's at his kid's baseball practice.
Right.
And he's not doing well. And then they show the pool bubbling and gurgling.
Yeah.
And he hits the ball out of the yeah.
I mean, shreds it.
Its powers were like broadcast across town.
I didn't get it. I did not get it. I was like, because he was already kind of like healed at that point. Why didn't he just rip it the first time? He embarrassed himself the first two times. He was already bench pressing 4 scenes ago. He was bench pressing like big weight. He's like, oh yeah, back to back in action
like
now.
The Lazarus Pit from Batman.
Yeah, he's like Ra's al Ghul. He just jumps in the pool and he comes out. But then he's like, then all of a sudden he grabs the bat and he's like, oh, I got MS again. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, bro, you've been swimming in there for like a week already. You should have ripped it the first time. And it was so cliche because you go, okay, I know the third time he's gonna do it, because then it's like it goes in slow motion the third time. The first time he misses. The second time he spins around like a jackass and falls. And then I go, okay, well, he's about to rip it out of the park now. It's like not even, they should have just went clap the first time. You know, just got it over with. But no, they wanted to make it like a Little League movie where it's like, all right, Jimmy, you got one more shot left. And it's like, okay. It's like, yeah, I saw that come from a mile away.
So I felt that the daughter and the son were the best actors in the whole movie.
Okay. I semi-agree.
And the other thing I thought was dumb in the script was they're having this big pool party. And like the mother and the 2 kids thought they saw something in the pool. And then the real estate agent goes, oh yeah, by the way.
Oh, I forgot.
the woman that sold him the house is at the pool party, and she's like, "Oh well, by the way, I didn't tell you about the little girl that drowned in the pool."
Which that's not a spoiler because it's in the beginning of the movie.
She should have
so
dropped the real estate agent.
Yeah.
And it should have gotten everybody out of the pool.
Well, I mean, they were. She didn't want to seem irrational, probably.
Well, I could go along with that.
And let me say that's not a big spoiler because I did tell somebody that a little girl died in the movie, and they were like, "How could you spoil this?" I was like, "It's literally in the first 2 seconds. Like that's the first thing you're gonna see. Don't even worry.
She's not long for the world.
She's dead and gone before the credits, even the opening credits.
It's about a haunted swimming pool. Somebody had to die.
Yeah, don't worry about it. That's not a big spoiler, right? So that was crazy. But then it's like, in that scene though, it's not even clear. It's not even clear like what happened to the father. It's like, did he have an MS attack? Like, why did he do that? I don't even know.
Oh no, he was possessed.
I mean, that became
black stuff went into him.
That became clear, but then it was like, well, why was he hyperventilate? Why was he drowning then if he was possessed?
Because that would be a spoiler.
All right, we're not gonna get into it. Okay. I'm gonna talk about that scene a little bit though in a little bit, but go ahead.
Okay. So at one point, I forgot where it was. It was toward the end when the mother was talking to the daughter about when she was trying to give birth to her.
Oh,
and she wanted to give up, but she felt that her daughter inside her womb sensed that she was going to give up and kept her going somehow. I mean, it was the dumbest
asinine.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on?
That I've heard uttered in a movie in a long time because it was pointless.
Well, didn't she say something to the effect of, "And then you were there for me"?
Yeah,
it's like, well, how? She was like she was a baby. She was like not even in the world yet. She was in your vagina.
Like she was cheering her on from inside the womb.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what do you mean?
Push me up, Mom.
I was like, what do you mean she was there for you? I was very confused.
Yeah, it was a befuddling soliloquy.
Yeah, I was right there with you. Right there with you.
Let's see. I liked the daughter with the bat.
Yeah, that was good. At the end, yeah, that was good.
Yep. And this is a spoiler alert. I don't know. Do you want me to say any spoilers?
No, don't say. It's too. The movie's too new. It just came out this week.
Well, I'll just say to you that I liked the very, very last scene.
What?
There was. Yeah.
Oh, really? That?
Well, I mean, if they hadn't done that,
I mean, it's like,
why would they?
You know how you know this movie's bad is that pops you, that piece. Like, of course they're gonna do that. Like that's not to pop for. Like, duh, they're gonna do that. That's like basic
but a lot
stuff.
of these movies they wouldn't, and it would just go on.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, the way I could see they would do Night Swim 2 is to go back in time and explain what the heck that evil thing is. They don't even tell you.
Please don't do it. Don't do it.
But,
we don't need it.
I mean, that was my biggest complaint.
Night Swim 2, the prequel.
No.
You have no idea what the monster or the spirit
the
demon is.
There's multiple. And I'm going to get into that. Give it. All
right, you go ahead.
Give it your rating, though. Give it your rating, though.
1. And on top of everything else, it was boring.
The worst movie of 2024.
This was boring. A glorified TV movie. This was a TV movie that somehow made it into theaters because Blumhouse was attached to it. I think this is the second worst Blumhouse movie I've ever seen. For sure. Right under Halloween Ends. I mean, I'd rather watch this 6 times than watch Halloween Ends one more time. I'll tell you that. Let's get that clear. Okay?
Damn.
This was a glorified... I mean, I've seen sci-fi original horror movies that just trampled this. Okay? You're not wrong. This was boring. And I kind of knew that going in. I will say that I liked the concept of a haunted pool. I thought that was interesting. When we saw it in the theater, I go, okay, this is probably going to be bad, but it may be a fun bad. It may be a bad where I only like it. You know, there's like a lot of good kills, and it's kind of like lame, but it's like fun lame. This movie was not fun at all. I did not laugh. No, it was not fun. It was not the bad kind of fun, okay? But let me say the pros first. Like I said, I like the concept of the haunted pool. I did like there were multiple entities, and I liked the woman entity where her eyes were black, right? She had the nails. She was really at the end, and I think she was in the beginning talking to the boy, right? In the drain or whatever that was.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I think she was scary. I thought she was cool. And if anybody had 2 cents to rub together, they would have built the movie around her. They would have made she would have been tapping on windows. She'd have been slashing people. But no, she was in there for 2 seconds, and they had some other Joe Schmo 2 scenes later that sucked. Okay? I don't know how you feel about this, but I think the legend of the pool, like you were referring to, like how they're going to explain it, I thought it was good. Because I'm like, how is the pool going to be haunted? What is it? Is it just going to be, there's like one entity there? I'm not going to say anything about
somebody or people drowned in there. Obviously.
No,
but even the legend doesn't tell you why it's haunted.
It doesn't say why, but I mean, it doesn't need to be. It's just, it's basic. You don't need
I needed more info.
I don't need it. I think it was explained well in one. This is always my favorite scene in horror movies. One of my favorite scenes when they go to when the one person that's like taking control of the situation goes to the old person's house. It's always an old person, usually like in Boogeyman. I think it's a young chick with the shotgun, but they always go. They go, I have to find out why this is happening, and they go to like an 80-year-old person. They go, oh, I've been experiencing this. They go, oh, that's been around for this long, and this is what it's about, and this killed my son, and those are always my favorite parts. Because I'm like, okay, now I get to find out what it is, and it's always like the same. It's always the same scene in every horror movie. Basically, they do it in so many movies.
Even, in Candyman, right?
And they did it in The Nun too, where they go to the priest, and he goes, "Oh, this is actually from Mother Isabel, and these are their descendants, and you have to get the eyeballs." And I think those are always fun, and they always in the Bye Bye Man, the chick got set on fire. I think those are always fun. So I like the legend of the pool. When that was revealed, I said, "All right, now we're cooking with some kind of gas." I'm invested a little bit. I'm not watching the dad just get crippled all of a sudden for 5 minutes and back and forth with this shit. So I thought that was good. And even though I didn't like the dad, I liked his performance at the end. Like you said, with the baseball bat and all that stuff, I think that's where he shined, and I think he was good at the very end. He did well. That is all the bad.
I don't agree at all.
That's all the good. Now let's get to the bad.
I thought his performance was half-assed at the end.
Oh, he only got 5 minutes at the end. Really, it wasn't much.
I know, but I didn't feel it when he did what he did.
I thought it was good. I was feeling it. What I was not feeling from this movie was any scariness. No tension, nothing scary, except for the part where the kid is talking to the woman in the pool, in that hole in the pool, where she's like, oh, I died here. And he's like, oh, who are you? She's like, I'm Rebecca. And he's like, oh my God. I did like that part. And then it was the lady with the black eyes. I thought that was good. But other than that, this movie was boring. Nothing scary. I mean, the chick, when the daughter fell in the kitchen from the water, remember she slipped on it's like the most insignificant scene? That popped me because I was like, oh, something happened. The chick busted her ass. Something crucial happened for 2 seconds. She got a piece of glass stuck in her arm. I was like, wow, that was good. What is this? The stuff going up the dad's nose I don't even get that at all. That scene in the pool with the black stuff, I thought that was dumb. I thought it was just like totally cheesy.
Well, that's where it was confusing because you had the black stuff coming out, but then you had like images of creatures coming out from time to time.
It screamed TV movie. It screamed just like half-ass. No, the smog, we're just going to call it the smog creeping out, was lame. So as opposed to the boys' pool scene, the sisters' pool scene was lame, okay? The entity that grabbed her foot whack. The fat guy? Was that not scary at all?
He reminded me of that guy from oh shoot. Why can't I remember things when we're on the podcast?
He reminded you of just some fat
Guardians
guy.
of the Galaxy, that big guy.
Yeah. It was lame. Like, it started good because he's like, oh, Marco Polo. She's like, oh, who's there? And then you finally see him and you go, oh, yeah, I'm not scared at all. Lame.
Yeah, and he doesn't just pull her under.
No, he just, oh, and then she goes, where were you? To the boyfriend. He's like, oh, I don't know. It was across the pool. How did you not hear me at all? Like, it was just like, what? I don't know. The other thing I thought was, at the end, how deep was that pool all of a sudden? There's literally a ground to that pool. And then all of a sudden, they're swimming to the depths of the earth? How? You know what I mean?
I think what they were implying is that somehow she transfigured and swam through the drain.
How?
What?
That's the thing, is how could she have done it?
Like, bro, she's holding her breath for 10 minutes. Like, she's not an elite SEAL diver here. How is she doing this?
No, her little plan with the hose tied to the diving board that didn't quite work out.
That was bad.
If she takes one last breath, and
like that's
to the drain.
That'll suffice for 20 minutes.
8 inches across.
Yeah, the kid's down there drowning. I mean, and everybody's fine. They just get up and everybody's fine.
And then they get saved. Well, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah. They something happens. They end up getting up there. It was just a glorified TV movie. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you this right now. This is not worth your money in the theater. Do not go see this. I mean, listen. If you're gonna sneak in, go ahead. If the theater's across the street and you're going to catch the matinee, go ahead. Don't spend $13 on this movie.
No one will blame you if you pirate it.
No. Please.
Oh, we dodged a bullet on Friday night.
We were going to go see this. And then just the scheduling didn't work out. So I'm glad because my $13 would have went blah, 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 right down the drain like the mother. This movie, I'm not going to say it was a 1, though. I'm not going to go that far.
1.5.
I would say it's at least a 2. It's a 2. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. We're shitting on it right now, but I've seen far worse than this. It was just like white bread, milquetoast bullshit, you know? It wasn't like something was horrible about it. Like it was like the acting was horrible, and it was just so mundane and just kind of lame. But it wasn't.
That's why I gave it a 1, because it was so lukewarm.
Okay. All right. Like the pool water. But I think it was a 2. I'm going to say a 2. It was not worth it. So there you go. There was Night Swim. Wait for it.
Even his MS, you know, they were implying that maybe they were going broke because of all his medical. And I'm like, well, how much money did he make in professional baseball?
I didn't even know they were implying they were going broke. Did they?
Well, when she was doing the bills, and there was a time when they were in the office where it seemed like money might be tight.
Let me tell you what I did with this movie. I paused this movie and went to do things so many times. I did not watch this movie straight. I got up, talked on the phone for 20 minutes. I was, oh yeah, by the way, I gotta finish the movie. I'll call you back. I'm watching now. I forgot I gotta finish this. I watched this movie in like 4 parts, bro. It took me like 4 hours to watch this movie. Maybe that's why I didn't give it a 1. Maybe if I watched it straight, then. But nah, I think it wasn't.
I got up a couple times myself.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, you could tell from the beginning it wasn't going to be anything great. No. You could tell.
I mean, the saddest part of the movie was the cat.
Who cared about the cat? I think the girl slipping on the fucking kitchen was the worst. She got the glass stuck. I mean, that was like,
yeah, that's true.
That was the most interesting part of the movie. I was like, oh, that looked real. That was bad. Wow.
I'll reiterate, the son and the daughter really, I think, put in the best performances and had my attention the most out of anybody.
I liked the mother too. I thought the mother was good.
Okay. Yeah,
I thought she was good.
I think the best part was the credits. You know.
Yeah, the ending.
With when it was over.
Yeah, I don't even remember what the music was like. I don't really remember anything. I mean, there's nothing. Cinematography didn't stand out. I hated when they did the flashbacks of him in the baseball. I don't know why. I just didn't like the look of it. I always just groaned when they did it. When he was like, back in his head, and he was like, "Oh, I'm in Tiger Stadium."
Yeah, it was like almost like a cartoon in a way.
Yeah, I was like, can you just have done it regular?
like all the underwater camera work. I mean, it's like, okay, we get the point. Yeah.
Yeah. No. But I got a phone call from Eddie the other day. Now it's his turn to talk about a movie. I got a phone call from Eddie the other day, and he said, "You gotta see this. This is coming out. It's a Hallmark original. And
it's coming out on your birthday, too.
It came out on my birthday, January 6th. And it was called Love on the Right Course. I'm a big rom-com guy. I love Hallmark. And it was a golf Hallmark movie, a golf romance movie. And I was like, now I've heard it all. Because I've seen all the Christmas Hallmarks, but I've never really seen what they do throughout the year. So I was like, okay, they're making a golf Hallmark movie. That should be interesting. I didn't even watch the trailer. I just ended up watching it the day it came out. And then Eddie watched it with me. So now we're going to review Love on the Right Course, Hallmark original, brand spanking new. And let's preface this by saying this. We had expectations going in. Would you like to explain the expectations of what a Hallmark movie,
All
we
right.
thought?
First of all, we had many expectations, and we also wrote a better movie.
We'll get to that at the end, though. We did write our own Hallmark movie, so stay tuned for that. What did you think we were gonna see because when you think of Hallmark, what comes to mind, EJ?
So I assumed it was gonna be the regular schmegular, like, oh my God, I fell in love, and like maybe I work at so and so place. It doesn't really matter. Insert business here. Oh my God, it's failing. Someone's gonna buy it out. Oh my God, it's my love interest dad. He's the bad guy.
Don't forget that it's in the hometown, that they're going back home to hometown.
And there's always like do I move away back home, or do I stay here?
Well, usually they go. So this is what I thought it was gonna be. Somebody goes back to their hometown because it focuses around a woman. She goes back to the hometown and she falls in love with a guy on the golf course. Somehow the golf course is in jeopardy, and that's basically the movie. And then she has to decide if she's going to stay in her hometown, how they're going to save the golf course. And we weren't far off at all. That was pretty much what the movie was about. The movie was about...
The only thing I was wrong about was I thought there'd be a little more golf in the golf movie.
There was golf. There was that golf. There was that bucket golf thing that they did, though. They did like that weird golf game. I think there was enough golf in the movie. The whole movie was on the course, and they had a bunch of... Anyway, basically, the movie was about this chick. She's a pro golfer. Her mother died 2 years prior, and she's been in a slump ever since. And she got this douchebag... And her mom was
like a pro golfer,
Yeah, she was a pro golfer, too. She got this douchebag cat. It's like, oh, you're not doing this right. You're not doing that right. If I had any sense, I would quit right now. And she's like, oh, well, I'm really upset. I want to go back to my hometown. It was like 2 seconds. And she's like, I want to go back to my hometown and see my dad. He's like, well, if you go back to your hometown, then I quit. So he quits right there. The guy quits. So she goes back to her hometown. And, of course, her father owns a golf course. She goes to the golf course. And who drives up? Some Chad with a chiseled jawline. He's like, hey, how are you? I know that you're the daughter of the guy. And they're like, okay, now here's the guy. She's going to fall in love with him. So now she's at a slump. And he's like, oh, I'll help you with your golf game. And he shows her some new ingenuitous, unconventional ways.
Creative golf games to keep it fun.
Yeah,
because he's like, as long as you're having fun.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I got to make my money. He's like, no, it's about fun. He works for the father. They're very close, blah, blah, blah. So then it's just paint by numbers stuff, pretty much the whole movie. And there's always a conflict right before they actually cement their relationship. Like the whole movie will be them like, oh, we're gonna kiss or we're not gonna kiss. I kind of love you. Okay, maybe I don't know. But then there's always like some big kaboom conflict in the middle, right before the end, before they get together. It's like, oh, no, how are they going to make it back from this one? Like, oh, now she's going back to New York and he's never going to see her again. And now, he's doing this.
You're also skipping a conflict. One of the other conflicts is that like the golf course was failing.
The golf course it wasn't failing. It wasn't failing. The dad didn't want to do it anymore because the mother died. His wife died. It wasn't failing. The restaurant was failing. That's like a side plot. Her friend's restaurant was failing. So there was a failing business. But the dad was going to sell it during the movie. And his part is like, oh, do I sell it? Do I not sell it? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, how dare you sell it? Mom was on this court and blah, 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 blah. She gets the father a dog. It's a whole side plot with the father. She gets him a dog and stuff. So basically,
dog, I like that dog.
It's a paint-by-numbers movie, Hallmark original. I will say that I really like the part where when the conflict happened, because then the old caddy, because the father goes, don't text your old caddy. You got a new one. You like this guy. Don't bother with him. She's like, I owe him something because he's been my caddy for so long. He's been my trainer. So then she texts him, and then all of a sudden he flies over there. He's like, I'm back. And she's like, oh, I kind of got a new guy now. Like, and he's like, no, just let me caddy for you one more time. So she does, and I go, now whatever his name is, Phil's gonna be pissed off about this. He's gonna see it from the window. He's not gonna say anything, and he's gonna be pissed off, and that's what happens. So then he gets mad, and he goes, well, I'm gonna get a new job in Britain. So now they're not even talking anymore, and I'm like, oh, great. How are they gonna get back together now? Eventually, it all works out. They get together. The father doesn't sell the golf course. And they kiss at the end. It ends exactly how you think.
Even the side plot failing restaurant, it all works out because it becomes the golf course restaurant.
Right. Her best friend owns a restaurant that's failing. So the father ends up hiring her at the golf course restaurant that they shut down since the mother died. And then the dog, there was a conflict with the dog because somebody went to pick the dog up, but then they didn't show up. So then they brought it to the father and go, oh, can you watch him for a week? And he's like, I don't want a dog. Are you crazy? By the end of the movie, he's like, oh, I love this dog. I'm gonna adopt it. Everybody's fine. Nobody, all is well on the course. They're in love. The golf course is saved. The dog is and there's always this plot too. I can't forget this. There's always a widow. The father or the mother either had somebody die, and then he gets hooked up, or they get hooked up with another old person from the town. Like, oh, did you know Susan's husband died last week? And they go, I'm not ready to get back in the game now. Everything's still fresh. And then by the end of the movie, they're making out.
But then by the end of the movie, he's like, damn, Susan, you got a fine ass.
Then they're talking. So that everybody was all right. Everybody was fine. I'm gonna say this was a 3. This was about a 3. I'm giving
it a 2. I wish there was more golf.
You would give it. I'm surprised you gave it a 2. I thought you hated this.
I did. I kind of. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Like I was like watching it, but since like it's on YouTube, I was just kind of. It was on my phone, so I was watching, and I would kind of just do something else and just listen.
When it comes to Hallmark movies, it wasn't my favorite. I mean, I was pretty bored until the new caddy came. I was sitting back with my feet up, but as soon as I saw him, I said, oh, shit. There's another conflict, too. She has to win the PGA Golf Tour. I forgot because she's in a slump. So she wins that.
She has to win it so she doesn't lose her card or whatever the hell.
Golf card.
And she won that golf card with her mom as her caddy, so it's sentimental and
I forgot.
So it's nonsense. Our movie's way better, guys.
I forgot about that. There's so many conflicts. That's right. She has to win the golf tournament. Okay, she has to win the golf tournament is number 1. Then she meets the guy, but then they end up falling out because the old caddy comes back, and then she fires him. The father is a widow, and the dog doesn't have nowhere to go. The golf course is about to get sold, and the friend's restaurant. So there's 6 conflicts going on, and at the end, everybody's okay. It's all even the opponents in the golf tournament were like super nice. They were like, "Oh, it's been a pleasure working with you.
Oh, congratulations! You played better.
Yeah, it was so great working with you." But let me tell you what I thought was very authentic were the golf commentators. Because sometimes I like to sit back and watch golf because they get fucking messy, those golf commentators. It's like, oh, here's Jack Briscoe straight out of rehab. He got into a big DUI.
They were commenting on her life, like, oh, and this this. We thought, and this is her manager that supposably quit.
Why, we thought he quit on her last week, and now they're back together. Like, oh, this is gonna be interesting.
It's like they're like they love the drama. They're like, oh,
that's what golf. That's what the real golf is. When I watched it, the last time I watched it, it was all about this. Like, oh, here's Susie going through a vicious divorce. Oh, but a beautiful shot. Yeah, and then it's like, oh, here's Sam. He's got to do a nice putt. Yeah, his child was just killed in a drunk driving accident. Can he make the shot? Oh, nope, that's it. He might kill himself when he goes home. Like, there's always some kind of drama with everybody. In the real golf, not even in the Hallmark. So the golf commentators were really like that in this movie. Did you notice that, Pastor, when you watch golf with your father? They get dramatic.
They do get dramatic, and I was just going to say that, especially the satellite golf channel.
Oh, they get really crazy, huh?
So I'm in my dad's car one time, and I just left it on. He had it on, and I was running an errand, and I'm listening to this guy talk in great detail about the sacrifices that these golfers are making playing in this high wind, in this rain. and I come back, and I'm like, this is the most ridiculous. Go in. Go to the clubhouse and start the tournament when it stops raining.
That's it.
Why do they have to be out there right now?
Because they need adversity, drama.
It's not the first time I heard them, Okay. Like, oh, these golfers, man, they just sacrifice their lives trying to hit that ball from tee to hole.
Like they're rodeo, like they're like bull riders or NASCAR drivers. Like, come on, what's the worst that can happen? Back pain? Your shoulder incident? You pop a shoulder out?
Oh no, I got the sniffles because I was out in the rain.
But that's probably why they got to bring the drama from the personal life in, because the actual event, there's not much you could say. It's just like, oh, here we go.
No.
So you got to add in like, oh, this guy, he just came out the closet. His parents disowned him. It's crazy, and now golf is all he got. This is it. He got to win.
His one chance to win his dad's love back.
So I thank you, Eddie, for bringing this to my attention, because I would have never seen that, because I usually only watch Hallmark around the holidays. I don't usually watch it throughout the year.
I only noticed because the trailer for it came out around Christmas.
Well, it's always on at your house. Well, look at this.
Yeah,
look at this guy. Pastor stole my chocolate. Pastor stole my chocolate, my Christmas chocolate. I forgot. I left my chocolate in his bag, in his gift bag, and he thought it was part of his gift. And I was like, that was not part of your gift. That was actually mine. The girl from Target put it in your bag.
It's a part of his gift now.
It is a part of his gift.
Delicious.
They look delicious.
It's his now.
They look delicious. So we had a good time. I had a good time watching it, though. And it's just funny because every Hallmark movie is basically that. It's somebody goes to the hometown. There's either a bakery or a bowling alley, and it's in jeopardy, and the mother is a widow. So
it's always something's failing, or we got to sell it.
Right.
One of the parents is dead. There's never two full parents, like a set of parents in a Hallmark movie. It just can't be.
There's never like suicide, though. I don't think suicide ever comes into play.
No,
it's usually murder. Sometimes there's murders.
There's never a pair of parents, though.
Sometimes there's murders, and Eddie knows this because it's on 24 hours in his house.
The only time that there's a full family, like where all the parents are still alive, is like the Christmas ones. But even then, it's like, oh, well, we're divorced. I hate him.
Or we're divorcing. Like, oh, don't tell your brother, but we're separating after this. That was the last one I saw. We're separating. Don't tell your brother. It's on 24 hours in EJ's house, and we decided that we're gonna write our own movie to sell to Hallmark. Okay, so this
movie was so good.
Because I started noticing throughout the year there's a lot of sports ones for some reason. It was like this one, but then there was one about hockey, skating for love. Then there was one about football. Yeah, love on the ice. There was one about football, touchdown to your heart. There's like all kind of sports movies I didn't know about. I thought it was like there's a lot of murder ones, but I didn't know about the sports ones. So EJ and I came up with a what would you call it? A treatment of our Hallmark movie that we're going to title Racing for Love. It's going to be a NASCAR movie. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to break it down a little bit. And we decided that we're really going to make it a 2024 movie. Okay? So, we're really everybody's going to be involved. Everybody, no stone will be unturned in our movie.
All genders, all races,
everybody.
all impairments will be included in this movie.
That this movie will focus around an Indian NASCAR driver, a lesbian Indian woman NASCAR driver with Tourette's. Okay, so that's who is the main character. Okay, she's an Indian lesbian woman, cisgendered woman with Tourette's. Well. Okay, and she's NASCAR. Now she is getting back into NASCAR after her Puerto Rican wife died in a crash. It blew up. Okay, her NASCAR blew up during the race. And let me make sure. Yeah, she's just a Puerto Rican woman. She doesn't have any disabilities or anything, right? So she's getting back into the game. The Indian woman's getting back into the game. Now, the Indian woman is also, I forgot to mention, she's adopted. Okay, she was adopted by an Asian man, and he is crippled. So
he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, he's in a wheelchair. He owns an auto body shop, which is failing right now.
Obviously, it has to be.
It's about to go into foreclosure. Okay?
This is right.
Now, while our Indian character with Tourette's is getting ready for the race and helping her father with the auto body shop, she fell in love with a black trans woman. Okay?
That's on a pit crew.
Yes. She falls in love with a black trans woman who is on her pit crew. Right?
It's got to be a new addition to the pit crew.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what she finds out later on in the movie, though, is that her new lover, the black trans woman, her father owns the bank that will foreclose on the father's auto body shop. Okay? So now there's some kind of conflict. There's where our conflict begins, okay? But now it gets even crazier. Because in the movie, you find out that our main character's lover, the black trans woman, was the one who sabotaged the Puerto Rican woman, her ex-wife's
dead ex-wife.
And that's why it blew up.
But this is when he was a man, though. This is before he transitioned. It was still when he was a man, so like nobody knows.
Right.
You know?
So before the main character's new black trans lover was a woman, they were a man. And they were the reason that the main character's Puerto Rican wife died on the racetrack because they sabotaged the car and blew it up. Okay, so eventually they're going to find out about that in the movie. There's going to be
Why do they sabotage the car?
Well, we don't know. That doesn't even matter.
It's business. It's big business, you know.
We're going to find out something else. Then you find out that the black trans woman is told by her father that she needs to now sabotage her new lover, the Indian character's race, so that she doesn't win the money to save the father's auto body shop. So now she has a dilemma. She has to decide.
Because the bank wants to take it and put a McDonald's on it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. They
want to put a Pet Boys there. So now the black trans woman has to decide if she's going to, sabotage our main character's car. There's a whole conflict within that. And basically, the main character has to win the race to get the money and to avenge the Puerto Rican woman that she used to love. Okay? And there's a few other notes. This will take place in Saudi Arabia. Okay? It will not be on American soil. There will be no white people in the movie at all. Not even a picture of one. None. Banned from the movie. This will be directed by a blind, non-binary director. Okay? They will be doing all the press.
But women can't drive in Saudi Arabia.
Well, they can in this movie because it's inclusion.
So
they can.
So the thing I told Thomas, right, is all this LGBT stuff wouldn't be going down in Saudi Arabia.
No, but it will. It has to. It will be in this movie. It will. Okay, and proceeds.
Now we're really in a fantasy.
All the proceeds for this movie will go towards Zelensky's war in the Ukraine. We'll be funding the war in Ukraine with the proceeds towards the movie. And we don't know who, but somebody will have Down syndrome in the movie. We don't know who. So this is.
I recommended the drink guy, the guy that he hands the hot dogs and drinks out. You know what I mean?
He will be the person with Down syndrome.
Yes.
So that is our Hallmark movie, Racing for Love. Many conflicts, but the representation is there.
Yes, everybody will be included except for white people, because white people don't matter.
White people. Give it that mo crack.
Somebody's got to do it now.
So there you go. Let us know if you want to invest in it. We are shopping it around. Hopefully Hallmark picks it up, but we think it'll be too big for TV. We think it'll eventually it'll have to be in the theaters. It's too good. Pastor, why don't you plug your show and everything you got going on?
Well, the No Name Yet podcast will be returning. We're on break as we speak.
Right.
And well, I can't. I don't know where the calendar is on this computer. I think it's something like the 17th. It's like the 3rd. I'm gonna start dropping them on Sunday instead of Saturday.
Really? Why this change?
Because I've been dropping them on Sunday anyway.
Is that not the Lord's Day? Are you not breaking one of the commandments?
Don't you have to work on that day?
Are you not breaking one of the commandments by working?
Yeah, I guess I would be breaking the Sabbath.
That's not nice. Can't do that. Can't do that. You're okay with that? You're okay with breaking the word of God?
Well, I could always have it done, because basically I'm getting done like about 11 o'clock on Saturday night.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
there'll really be no work will actually be done on Sunday.
No, that's right.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
But join us for the season 5 opener in the middle of February.
Wow. Season 5 already, huh?
Season 5, yeah.
The time is flying. And like I said, next episode will be our last episode of whatever season this is. I think we're on 5 now. I think you're one behind us. So I think we're going on season 6. So get ready for season 6. We're going to be taking 6 weeks off. But like I said, we're not going to leave you hanging for those 6 weeks. We're going to be posting things, just not regular podcast stuff. So get ready. Come back next week to hear all the announcements, to hear everything we got to say. Peace and love. See you next time.